Alrighty. Hello everybody. This is Kirsho here, and now, before I do get started, let me just say something. In the last part, a number of events have happened. We had Deku, Aizawa, and Mirako. It has been 2 months since Deku has fully began his training. Deku has been getting proper nutrition, along with being pushed by Mirako in how to fight. Along with that, after initially using One For All and breaking his wrist, Deku, he put off trying to figure out how to use the quirk and get his body up to speed first and foremost. This was something Aizawa and Mirako told him to do. They can train him up and then hopefully get him to use the quirk later. Deku, however, after 2 months was lying around at home one day on a day off, and he was able to figure something out. One For All produces electricity around him whenever he turns it on. Going off of the idea that his body is like a battery, and over time he does add more power to the charge One For All is, that made him think of something. Batteries have limits for how much power they can contain. If you go over that limit, they break. So, what if you charge up the power through your entire body and keep the power going? What if you don't pull on all of it, but you do try to find a way to regulate it in a way your body can hold? A smaller charge for a weaker battery. Deku managed to turn up One For All to 4%. And the next day, after he discovered this, he showed up early for training, which did piss Mirako off. She never sent a car for him, allowing Deku to get cardio in the morning, train with her, and then cardio on the way home. But finding him here early in the morning did annoy her. She thought Deku came earlier than what she told him. However, upon learning that he figured out how to use the quirk, she wanted to see for herself. Taking him to one of the training rooms where a lot of people saw Deku arrive. And this did mean something. Aizawa told Mirako not to hurt the kid too much. He will be the referee for the spar. But right now, Deku and Mirako do stand in a ring. And Izuku, he is worried about what he's going to do. Right now, a lot of people are staring on, quite intrigued to know why the top enforcer is battling off against this kid. And right now, Deku, he does just stand there. Mirako going to get in a bit of her stance and ready to move. Talking about how once they do start, she's going to start ramping up the intensity whenever she does going to find his. Does he got it? Yeah, I got it. Him going to turn on One For All. And whenever he does going to do so, he does go to push the power through himself and try to get a feel for it. Mirako waiting and going to turn to Aizawa. And Aizawa does a turn looking at Deku, who does go to turn and give the man a nod, showing that he found where he can control it. And the match does going to begin. Rumi going to leap forwards and rushing at Deku with a left hook. And Deku, he actually has to move forwards too. Right now, him throwing out a fist as Rumi, she does go to plant her right foot and go to swing her body around. Her bring her right fist out for a strike. And Deku, he does go to see it coming right at him. Him shifting his body and trying to evade the attack. However, she does catch him on the cheek as he does a move. Right now, her throwing a foot out and try and kick at him. The Deku does go to bring a hand up and try to slash down an attack to hit her. Her bringing her hands up to block this strike. And over Deku does collide his fist with her arms, she does a sliding backwards as wind pressure does begin to disperse. Right now, him going to watch as she does a move before she does go to replant her feet and lunge forwards. And Deku does it a move as well, trying to pull a bit more on the power to see how he does it feel. Amping himself up to 5%. And whenever he does have a small burst of speed, Mirako does watch Deku move a little faster. And that she has a grin at. Right now, her going to bring her hand up and collide fists with Deku. Her quite alarmed at the stinging in her fingers when she does to do so. And this time, Deku, he doesn't move forwards, coming in and trying to punch her center mass in the gut. Her throwing a foot up to block Deku as Deku, he does go to have another fist come right at him. Her hitting him in the gut as he does be sent flying. Him making his way towards the edge of the ring and going to flip through the air. However, whenever he does go to crash into the back of it, he does sit there. Right now, sucking a little bit of air as he does go to get back to his feet. And Aizawa does get a turn, telling Rumi, "Take it easy on the kid." "I am taking it easy. He's faster." "Huh, good. Can you continue?" Yeah, I can." Him getting back up to his feet. And right now he does try to think. He pulled a little bit more. Okay, but should he pull on more? Maybe. No. He's already beginning to feel a little sore. He's not used to the quirk just yet, so, okay. Make a bit of a plan of attack. Mirako is fast. She's got experience. She's got combat under her belt. A trick? Maybe, but how could he go against her? She's got the footwork. She's got everything. You just gonna stand there, kid? Her with her hands up. And Deku, he does go to lunge forwards off of his left foot. Right now, coming in, and they're gonna smash. Right now, him throwing the fist out and allowing the air pressure to travel forwards and almost try to strike her. Her bring her arms up to dodge, or arms to block, as Deku, he does a leap upwards towards the ceiling. And Mirako, when she has to lower her hands, she doesn't see Deku. However, there is the sound whenever Deku does a lunge off the ceiling and directly towards her. Her going to look up as Deku does come flying in and throwing a foot down. Her going to bring her hand up to block the kick. Her reaching out for a strike at Deku. And there is where Deku, he does go to take the punch but wrap his arms around her arm. Him going to throw his foot out and trying to kick her in the face. Her going to dodge as she has a turn to toss Deku away. Whenever she does go to ramp up the intensity, Aizawa does tell her to stop, as she was about to smash Deku down into the ring a little hard. And right now, there is where they do to stop the match. And some people, they do to stir on. Mirako going to let the kid go as Deku, he does to get back to his feet. Him breathing heavily and going to let go of his control on the power. How did I do? Not bad, kid. Though, how'd that feel? A little bit better? Not sure. I pulled a bit more out, but I'm starting to feel a little sore, actually. You're not used to it yet. Not surprising. Listen. In a couple of minutes we can go again. Think you get another round in you? Maybe, but who would I fight? Mirako again? I mean, that doesn't really seem like a fair matchup. You're right, it's not. Though, I'm sure one of our guys here might be willing to fight. Aizawa, that's just cruel. Right now, Midnight going to say. And she does it to hold a bit of a grin, talking about how she wouldn't bet on the kid to win though. Are you sure? He looked to be doing pretty well. I'm sure, though if you're willing to bet on him, then maybe it could work. Though, maybe you can get in the ring with him. I mean, your powers are quite different, but it could work. Though, how exactly would you use your illusions on him? I'm not certain. He's strong. Yes. Aizawa turning and asking if they've got a volunteer. Right now, they need someone who's a little hard-headed to work. And he does look around at a lot of people, some raising their hands. And he does talk about it. Maybe. Is anyone here able to take a punch? Some lowering their hands. Not sure what he's getting at. Though those who do keep their hands up, he does look at some of them. One of these guys does a step forwards, talking about how he can create a barrier in front of himself. If that does kind of help. What is he looking for? Well, the kid needs to learn how to fight. I'm assuming letting him know how to take a punch is good. He's got that down somewhat. But then again, he's too worried about using his power. So, we're hoping to see what he can do against someone who isn't physical. How so? I mean, I got my barriers, but are you sure you want me fighting him? Don't go too far. Remember, this kid isn't one of ours just yet, but he's got potential. The person nodding their head slowly, but going to eye Deku a little suspiciously. Aizawa says this kid's got some moxie. He does want to see moxie, though he hasn't gone to UA just yet. Now that is interesting. Okay. The man stepping up into the ring, and Deku, he does get some water and go to someone stretch out his shoulders, which did start to become a little stiff after using one for all. And right now, the match does go to begin again. Deku, he does show a bit more familiarity with using the power, though he does keep up his street fighting style. The guy uses barriers, and he does keep Deku at bay. Eventually, after a couple minutes of him trying to bounce around the ring and using nothing but might, he does go to slow down. And the person, they do go to put Deku in a small barrier. Right now, them closing it around him and going to stop. Before Aizawa does call the match. And when Deku does step out of the ring, he is exhausted. Right now, Aizawa telling him he's got to work more on using the quirk. He's got to work a bit harder in fighting. Right now, they can build up his stamina. It is bad. But they also need to work on his fighting style. He's got to learn some proper shit. Take an hour and come meet him upstairs. If he does need to ask someone, then ask someone else. He can see about taking him to the lower levels. And that it does catch some raised eyebrows. As Deku, he does get to sit down and wipe the sweat off of himself. The girl that Midnight was training with does get to walk over, bending down and going to squat on her legs, asking, "So, what can he do?" "Huh? Oh, hi. Yeah, what do you mean? What can you do?" "I'm strong and fast." "I saw that. Though, why are you here?" "Oh, they, want to recruit me. Send me to UA." "You're actually gonna go?" "That's cool." Yeah, I am." "Oh, what about you? You were with Midnight, right?" "Yeah." "She thinks that my powers could be useful. They talked about recruiting me directly from my home. It's interesting, but I'm interested in going to UA too. There's a number of opportunities there, but I don't know. It's weird." "How so?" Well, I mean, I'm not sure. It's, odd being here, you know? Kind of do, yeah. Uh, are you from the slums? My family knows some people, but not well. We're not well connected, but we're not well off either. Well, we're not, I don't know if I said that right. We're not doing bad, but we're not doing good either. We kind of break even a bit. I can tell. My name's Izuku. Oh, Kimi. Nice to meet you. So, do you think you're gonna work with them? Huh? I mean, the family? Maybe. I don't know yet. I mean, well, I'm not saying no, but I don't know yet because I'm not sure if I'll make it at UA. I get it. You seem stressed. Just a bit, yeah. It's, a little complicated. Really? It doesn't seem that complicated. Just work for the family and things go well for you. You move up in the world and you're lucky you're just not the person who got hurt in the slums. I mean, I know a guy who he was doing a little better off and someone squashed his opportunity. They shanked him and took his place. Yeah, that doesn't sound too good. No, it does not. Everyone's always into something for themselves. So I do have to ask, her pressing a finger into his chest, what's he in for it? What does he want? I could ask the same question to you. Him going to stand as she does a stand herself. And he doesn't talk about it. He doesn't need to explain himself to her. It's his business. If she has a problem with it, then back off. So you're the one they picked. A man saying in a large, bellowing voice. And everyone does it or freeze as All Might and Sir Night-Eye, they walk into the room. And it does go to make some of them all go to stay there, stark silent and still. And he does talk about it. Now this certainly is interesting. He's the kid, right? He wants to talk to him, privately. And, well, there's the one Midnight picked. It's fairly certain that she got some moxie too, so come along. Both of them, now. The two going to have their argument die down quickly, following the two who do go to leave. And this is rather odd. Right now, they do follow them into an elevator and up into another room. And when they do get to a meeting room, there is where they do to wait outside. Kimi is brought in first to talk to the boss. And when she does leave, she does turn, giving Deku a small nod. Her face a little hesitant about what they talked about. And whenever Deku does step into the room, the door locking behind him, he does go to stare at Sir Night-Eye. And the man, he does have his hands folded in front of his face, covering his mouth, not revealing anything about his facial expression, though the glare he does have fixed on him does mean something. This is him, correct? Yes, it is. It's him, all right. Where is Muscular? I've gotten some reports about his behavior and I don't like it. We don't know. He's MIA. Is he KIA'd? We are not sure. We've heard of some activity, but we're not sure if it's him. It might be some other gun-ho dickhead with a strength quirk. One of ours? We're not sure. Though he's apparently stomping on a few foots, shaking the cage a little. God damn it. We can find out about that more later. Right now, is this him? I already said that, yeah. He's gotten better. How so? The two had a sparring match. Light stuff. He managed to last about 40 seconds against her. 40 seconds. A light spar? Yeah, not too shabby. Though, his stamina is shit. You're from the streets, correct? The slums? I am. I'm from there originally. Hmm. You know how to fight? I know some. What about how to use a knife? Uh, I've had to pull it before. Have you ever stabbed anyone? Killed anyone? Um, I've stabbed someone before, but it wasn't that serious. Have you? Are you willing to kill someone? Are they trying to kill me? Does that matter? I don't know. You want to know my answer to these questions, but you're springing this on me. I'm assuming you brought me here for a reason? Trying to understand who you are, kid. Right now, there's a lot going on, and a lot of things we're not sure if we should let ride on you. You've already spent too much doing a lot of things, and I just hear about your improvement right now. That is good. Though, what we're trying to make sure to do is maintain a proper image. Some people are a little concerned about All Might at the moment. There's a rumor spreading around that he's been injured because he hasn't been seen in combat in a little bit of time. His public appearances have not changed, and with muscular MIA, we can't do anything to remedy this situation. Hide our involvement with him or make it look like All Might did something. We need someone strong. We have plenty of that. We don't have anyone All Might strong, though. You have his power. Right now, I want to see results from you. In 3 months' time, I may send you out on a bit of a mission. In that time, I want to see you improve. This is a mission for your contribution. If you do show that you're able to survive and do what you need to, that will be good for us. Right now, we're curious about some of the actions people might be taking on. In 3 months, we can see where that does go, track it, and find out more. If you're able to contribute, then things will be good. Your standing in the family won't be seen as a leech. Some people are already looking at you a little odd. And from what I've been hearing, you've gotten the VIP treatment from these two. Now, that is a bit of a problem. If people in our own family are talking about you, then what do you think people in other families know about you? We may have spies, but it's already too late. If we do shift our focus of trying to keep your secrecy, that does mean much. Really? Yes, it does. We can see about finding someone else to train with, a partner for you, and maybe that young lady. She is already aware of the situation as well. If her contribution does fall below a certain point, then that can be troublesome. If your contribution falls below a certain point, that is even worse. Do you understand me? We can't be seen giving you special treatment. The family has a certain reputation among the others. If it's found out that we're giving you special treatment, that could be problematic. One of your seniors will help you on this mission. though I want to see you personally improve. They will report back to me. Do you understand this? I do. I do. But, what should I do now? You've just barely gained an understanding of that quirk, correct? Yes, I have. Continue to understand that quirk. Your body has never experienced a power like that. Adapt to it. And remember, you have never had a power like this before, have you? No, not what I thought. You need to understand how to be adaptable in combat. Know when to use brute force, know when to think tactically, and know when to adapt to your opponent. These three factors can get you a win or dead if you don't follow them properly. Now, how did you figure out how to use the power? Was it you, Aizawa? He figured it out himself. Interesting. Well, that's good at the very least. You're not an idiot. You're dismissed. Continue your training for the day and then head home. We'll see more about teaching you combat tomorrow and seeing how things do go. Until then, keep business as usual. Find someone else for the boy to train with. If that can be met, then he can improve. Have a benchmark. I want to see where he'll be in a couple months. Mirao, you are still allowed to train with the boy. However, keep him at a different pace than your own. If you work him too hard, he'll break. Fine, I'll slow it down. Mirao. Yes, boss. Good. Him going to stand and turn to the body double. The man jumping up and asking if they've got to make an appearance somewhere else. Or should he try to use something more flashy? Take a risk somewhere? Not yet. Until we can figure out what to do, keep yourself in line. Understood. Sir Night-Eye does get to leave, along with this fake All Might as well. And Izuku, he does spend the next 3 months training with a few different people. Aizawa does help set Deku on a good pace. Along with that, there is the fact that he does try showing Deku how to get out of his Street Fighter style and into a proper fighting stance. It does start to help. Along with the fact that the back-breaking work Mirao tries to put him through every day does begin to slow down. Deku, he does begin to notice improvements when he does start to work on full cowling just a bit. And in the next couple months, he does slowly but surely feel more and more comfortable advancing himself up, going a little higher. And by the time that 3-month period does go to end, he does find himself sitting at a steady 10% of One for All. He's found himself able to use the power for a lot longer. After working on his stamina, he should be able to hold on to it for a decent fight. And that, it does mean much. He did a lot of training, and all that running around and endurance training has begun to help. Along with learning how to fight and taking some inspiration from Mirao, Deku, he knows not just to use his hands. He learned that lesson whenever Mirao got him in a certain hold and, well, she kicked him real hard. He forgot he could use his legs. And that was a lesson hard learned, especially since it cost Deku his lunch. Now, right now Deku, he is assigned to a mission and told about what he will be doing. He does get to stand there with one of his superiors. Apparently, he's the newly promoted top 5. And Muscular, that one man he met before, he's left the organization. The guy has been MIA for 5 months. And that is a problem. I mean, apparently he just abandoned the family. And he could see a big issue with that. The guy's turned traitor. That either means he's going to go join a new family or he's going to go start his own. Try and take over a small amount of territory and maybe just hold it for himself? He's heard stories of Muscular and Mirao. Those two are monsters on the battlefield. And he doesn't envy whoever has to deal with them at the current moment. Though right now, he does go to talk to the young man who does sit there in the vehicle with the both of them, talking about it. Right. Anyways, the boss sent them out to go deal with this. It shouldn't be that big of an issue, but it's going to be a little simple. Him handing the file off to Deku. Him handing the file backwards over to Kami. And he does talk about it. They've got a few other people in some other cities doing similar missions at the moment. So, he wants to know what they think is the best thing to do. He's been training with Aizawa, right? Yeah. Yeah. So, what has he taught you? A few things. Why? Well, how about we handle the mission then? It's a warehouse. And these guys are selling a bunch of stuff. Yeah, but there's a problem with that. They're not selling it through the family. Uh-huh. But what are they selling? Firearms, narcotics, well, you think they're selling people? That's what the thing says. We got information. We can't confirm it until we go in there. Right now, some of our spies have talked about it. But it's only until we go in there and solve this whole thing that we'll really understand this. Have either of you killed before? No, I haven't either. Good. Then, that does mean this is going to be a little harder. Him turning and going to open the glove box, pulling out 2 different pistols and handing them off to the 2, talking about it. If they do think that they can do this a little easier, use this. Their quirks might be, well, different, but to try to figure out what to do first. If they're not sure about using quirk, use this. He was told that you can do that. Though, he's also curious to see how they can handle this. What do you mean? Well, people already spied on those people and we're here to stop them. So what do you think we should do? Go in and announce ourselves as Familia? But I don't see that working well. Smart enough to know it. You're right. So, how should we take action? You think we should take one of them out first? I never said that, though that certainly is one way of opening the discussion. I get it. Well, if I had to take a guess, we tell them who we are. We announce ourselves as Familia and see how that plays out. If we're expecting an attack, then maybe we just... Kami? Yeah? Your quirk, right? Can't we just use that? We could. I was wondering how long it would take you to figure that out. Hey, you're not exactly talking back there. Right. I can use my quirk and we can see about having more people. If I do create my illusions, though, I'm sure it can work. Then again, what should I do? Well, we just need to capture them, right? Or kill them if we need to. You're working as an enforcer now, kid. Either we take them in and figure out what to do with them then, or we just get rid of them now and deal with less paperwork. Besides, if these guys are bad, then I don't think it's best to let them live. Have you done this for long? A couple years. You see some shit, but it's just how it is. These guys want to try and hustle the area and mess it up. They're just going to hurt more people in the slums. I've seen it happen before. My dad died that way. Shit. No, I get it. My dad died during the last city war. Shit. Sorry about that. No, it's not an issue. It's just I get it. Trust me. Are you two done? Yeah. Sorry. Just it's a thing. I got that. But we're supposed to be on mission? She's right. We can go that way. Me and Izuku can go in from behind. You can go on ahead with your abilities. We can see about if they'll surrender, but if they open fire, then we can go in guns blazing. Got it. Them going to get out of the vehicle and begin their plan. Right now, Kami does go to create an illusion of Deku and Mirao. And she does going to add in 2 other enforcers as well. Them going to make their way in and through the front door. As she does stay behind and start talking about it. Her going to stay just out of sight and follow them in. And when these people do go to encounter the enforcers, they do begin to try and open fire. And the moment they don't comply, things do begin to escalate. Mirao does quickly come up through the ground, and Deku, he does come crashing through a window. Right on him, using full cowling at about 8%. And he does go to bring himself up and grab onto a pipe, flipping his body around it and going to move up to the ceiling. Him crashing onto the ceiling and going to bounce off of it with his feet. Him slamming down onto a vehicle and bringing his hands up. Him smashing the man directly in the throat and then going to crash him along the side of the face with his hand. Before he does a turn and leap at another person. Them turning with a weapon and going to try and fire at Deku. Deku being faster and able to grab the gun and force the person directly to the ground. Him pulling it free of their grip and smashing them in the face with the butt of the weapon. And the sound Deku does hear emanate from their head isn't a good sound. Him turning and looking towards Kami. And Kami, she is surrounded by mist. Deku deciding not to turn and fire that direction. Though he does turn back as a person is rushing at him with a blade for a hand. And Deku, he does bring his hands up. Right on them, thrusting out forwards and towards his face. Him bringing his hands up, smashing them together, and crushing the blade. Them roaring out in pain as Deku, he does try to force it backwards when they're still trying to push it forwards. The crack in the arm going to be seen as Deku, he does go to let go and throw himself towards the ground. Him bouncing up and crashing the person in the chest and going to pull his fist back. Him going to throw it out forwards and smash him across the face. Hitting them again, and again. Whenever he does go to stand, he does go to put his foot up and smash them in the face. Right now, a burst of light coming directly at Deku, and he does be struck in the shoulder and roaring out in pain. Right now, him leaping backwards and going to gain distance on the person. Him turning and trying to find out where that came from. When another beam of light does come firing at him, he does a turn and go to leap up into the air. Him going to throw his hand out and grab onto a catwalk as he does go to flip himself over it and go to stand. Him looking around and amping up full cowling to 10%. And whenever he does do so, he does start running. Him lifting off with a sprint. And whenever he does go to see a person blast a beam of light at him, he does go to move faster as it does strike the catwalk he's running on. Going to throw his foot up and launch off directly at them. And when they do try to re-aim towards him, Deku does go to bring his arm up and smash them directly in the stomach. Before he does a turn and throw them against a concrete wall, them breaking through it as they do go to lay there. And he does go to turn, looking around at some other people. Mirao, he's making his way through the flames of a fire quirk, along with someone who is trying to spit out slime that is sticky. Him going to rush forwards and go to kick that person directly in their side, launching them into the ground and going to stop them. And Deku, when that person does start to get back up, he does still pull his weapon, aiming at the man and going to hesitate. Before the man does a turn, trying to pick up a knife. Him trying to reach for his belt as Deku does go to squeeze the trigger. And whenever the gunshot does go off, he does watch him fall, turning and looking back around. The other people are still trying to fight. Kami, she did already take down another person. Right now, one of our illusions smashing into them as they do to burst out into a cloud. And then there is where a knife does go flying, smashing into the person's neck. Him staring at that as he does a turn and fire at another person. The bullet hitting them in the shoulder as he does go rushing forwards towards them, crashing into them and going to make them hit the ground. And there is where the gunfight does get to die down. Right now, Mirao making his way over and going to express to the two of them. Not half bad. Though, now they're just going to call in a team and deal with them. So, they did pretty good. Me did keep an eye on them, but not half bad. Thanks. Whatever. So what now? Do we collect the weapons or stay here? We stay here until another force arrives. A cleanup team won't be too long. Though, I can see about interrogating that guy over there. I think he's the boss. You guys can go, though. Get out of here. I'll inform them of your whole thing. We don't have a car. We just take the car. Him going to pull out his keys and going to toss them over. And over Deku does bring his hand up, Kimi does reach out, catching them and talking about it. She's driving. Her turning to look at Deku and shaking the keys, giving him a bit of a cheeky grin. And he can't help but grin right back. He doesn't really know how to drive. Then again, it does still sound pretty cool. But at the same time, he can kind of bounce off of buildings. He still does think that that's pretty cool itself. And the two, they do go to leave, getting into the car as she does turn on some music, beginning to drive back to the headquarters. And the two, they do sit in a little bit of silence, other than the music playing. So, think we did good? We did good. We took out a few of those guys. But I don't know why they're trying to traffic guns. It's good that we didn't see people, though. Yeah, that is good. Though we didn't really check the trunks. Shit, you're right. I guess I wasn't thinking. Though, it's still a little annoying. Yeah, kind of. Good job, though. Okay, thanks. I'm just curious about what we're gonna do after UA. I mean, the exam is gonna be a little lethal. Yeah, I kinda hesitated though. I got that worried. You hesitated? Yeah, but just a second. I took the guy out. I think I took out two of the others, but I'm not sure. I doubt they're gonna get up again. Not bad. I guess with a quirk I get it, but a gun? It's probably just a preference. Maybe. I don't know why we're talking about this. Fair. You want to stop for some food? I'm honestly a little hungry. Yeah, I could eat. Though, what should we get? I noticed one really good place. Her driving off and towards the location. And with that being said, I do hope you guys enjoyed and have an amazing day.